بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قاسم تلك آيات الكتاب المبين لعلك باخع نفسك ألا يكونوا مؤمنين إن نشأ ننزل عليهم من السماء آية فظلت أعناقهم لها خاضعين صدق الله العظيم. So قال ألم نربك فينا وليدا ولبثت فينا من عمرك السنين. Now immediately now we're into the conversation. What we were interested in is the actual conversation. Yeah? And that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala immediately goes to the conversation. Sometimes people think, why does the Holy Quran jump? Go from actually, first it was simply, they were telling, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was telling Musa what to say, and then the next thing we have is what happened there. And so the reason is, we are curious, we want to know what happened, and that's why we are there. Now before we actually get into the conversation, we need to just perhaps understand the background, that Pharaoh was not an ordinary king, and there, he was one in the Holy Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that in some places he says that these rivers that flow in Egypt, I am the one who created these. He used to say, Ana rabbukumul a'la, I am the highest Lord, and as a result, it was Musa alayhi salam, as a result, understanding the task that he was given, realizing that the importance of that task, he expressed his concerns to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's why the lesson for us now, that when Musa didn't immediately feel that because Allah has given me this task, wow, great, I can go to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is all powerful, and I can go to Pharaoh and I can just tell him off. Musa alayhi salam is actually, he is ready for the challenge. It's not that he wasn't ready for the challenge and that's why he said, Ya Allah, I'm not fluent, and as a result, can you not find somebody else? Ya Allah, I really don't want to go back to Pharaoh. It's none of that. That we can be humble before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When we're given a task, we need to have that self-confidence, but at the same time, being humble before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not affect our self-confidence. And the reason why he's saying that also, not just complaining, but coming up with solutions, like Musa alayhi salam came up with a solution. And it also shows the love that they had. Because usually what happens, jealousy comes up, especially in brothers and family members, that actually Musa alayhi salam said, oh my God, and he does say in Surah Shu'ara, he says that Harun alayhi salam is afsahu minni. Fasaha, you heard the word, the Prophet ﷺ is used to be very eloquent. He says, afsahu minni, that Harun is very much more eloquent than me. So Musa ﷺ could have thought, actually, if I take Harun with me, he's so eloquent, he's a great orator, he might take my job. He might be the one by whom he might be the one by whom Pharaoh is inspired. And as a result, what will happen to me? It wasn't about Musa alayhi salam himself. He is concerned about the mission. As a result, he says, in Surah Shu'ara, he says, وَاجْعَلْ لِي وَزِيرًا مِنْ أَهْلِي, then make him my assistant, my wazir, so that we both go together. And because in Surah Shu'ara, it was much more about Harun. As a result, there Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used the word that we are messengers from your Lord that have brought message. But here in this surah, the importance is being given to Musa alayhi salam, that he was the actual messenger and Harun alayhi salam was the assistant, and therefore when we go to Pharaoh say that we have both come, but because the message is the same, and I am the one, the messenger that's come from Lord of the worlds. And the reason why Lord of the worlds has been mentioned here is because Pharaoh used to say that I am the highest Lord. Like we say in Sajda, Subhana Rabbiyal A'la. And he used to say, Ana Rabbukumul A'la, Na'uz Billah, that I am the highest Lord. So they go there, and then Musa has two demands. He goes there with two demands. What are the two demands? What are the two messages that he goes with?
So we are messengers.
We are messengers from Lord of the worlds.
And leave the Bani Israel alone.
And leave the Bani Israel alone. Not only just leave them, but let them go with us. Yeah. So Musa alayhi salam goes to Pharaoh's court, and the first thing Pharaoh says, قال ألم نربك فينا وليدا ولبثت فينا من عمرك سنين. He says, all right, so you come with these two demands. How about Pharaoh says, did we not sustain you? Did we not raise you in our court? So you come to us and you say, I've been sent by Lord of the worlds and send the people with me. Well, let's talk about the fact that we raised you. How long did you spend with us? And that's kind of emotional blackmail. That's what people do. In a way, reminding the Musa, man, you come to us. You come to us and talking about you've been sent as the Lord of the worlds. Did we not raise you? Did we not sustain you, Musa, among us in your childhood? And you did pass among us many years of your life. So you spent so long with us in your life, and here you've come here to challenge me. What's all that about? And then not only that, it then goes on to say, وَفَعَلْتَ فَعَلْتَكَ الَّتِي فَعَلْتَ وَأَنْتَ مِنَ الْكَافِرِينَ. He says, and did you not do that thing? فَعَلْتَ فَعَلْتَكَ الَّتِي. Did you not you did that serious thing, and which but you're still ungrateful. So he reminds him of two things. Musa has come with two demands, and rather than actually paying any attention to those demands, Pharaoh says, do you not remember how long you spent with us, in your childhood? And did you not do that thing, that which what you did, and you're so ungrateful that rather than actually coming and thanking us, that you still spared your life. And first we raised you, and then once you were a healthy, a grown-up man, then you did that thing that you did. Now that's very interesting. So Pharaoh doesn't actually mention that thing. They're all in a court. And now the Musa alayhi salam, what does he say? Musa alayhi salam says, فَفَرَرْتُ, he says, قَالَ فَعَلْتُهَا إِذًا وَأَنَا مِنَ الضَّالِّينَ. Musa alayhi salam, he doesn't respond to the first question. The first question was, did we not raise you, and how long you spent with us? The second thing was, did you not do that thing that you did? Musa alayhi salam, obviously, so this is helping us to understand, the first is part of da'wah. So Musa alayhi salam has gone there to do da'wah to Pharaoh, to invite him to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, rather than actually talking about, Pharaoh, I remember that childhood, what happened to me, and how lovely time we had here, all of those things, rather than warming up, Musa alayhi salam knows that actually it's that thing that Pharaoh is talking about. That's the greatest weapon that he's going to bring out. Sometimes people build up that suspense because everyone in the court would actually start thinking, what's that thing that Pharaoh is talking about? Yeah. So Musa as a response, he says, that thing that you're referring to, yes, I did do that thing. So acknowledging immediately, saying, yes, I did it. But then he goes on to say, إِذَا وَأَنَا مِنَ الضَّالِّينَ. He says that I did that when I was, on the error. So I made a mistake. We use that word dhalleen, in Surah Fatiha, and dhalleen. This is hotly debated what dhalleen means. In the Holy Quran there are two very clear, distinct meanings, and there's a third meaning as well. Dhalleen doesn't necessarily mean that going astray, being on the wrong path. It means that being unaware and making a mistake. You know, and here, that's what it means. Otherwise, also dal also means that actually you are lost in love. So when it's referring to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, وَوَجَدَكَ ضَالًّا فَهَدَى, that you were, you know, Allah says that we found you lost in our love, lost in our search, you know, that could be the meaning, and then we brought you towards us. But here, Musa alayhi salam said, yes, I did do that thing, but it was a mistake that I made. Now, what was that thing? And then Musa alayhi salam says, فَفَرَرْتُ مِنْكُمْ لَمَّا خِفْتُكُمْ فَوَهَبَ لِي رَبِّي حُكْمًا وَجَعَلَنِي مِنَ الْمُرْسَلِينَ. Musa alayhi salam then goes on to explain. He says, so I fled from you when I became fearful of you, then my Lord bestowed me with wisdom and made me as one of the Rasuls, one of the messengers. وَتِلْكَ نِعْمَةٌ تَمُنُّهَا عَلَيَّ أَنْ عَبَّدْتَ بَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ. And what is that favor with which you taught me, but you have enslaved the children of Israel? So Musa just concludes it here. He says that yes, I did do that thing, and I made a mistake, but then I left the city, I flee from here, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave me wisdom and He made me messenger, and now don't you be reminding me of the favors that you've done. So in a way, Musa, Pharaoh is trying to be very, showing his kindness, his generosity, saying, look, I raised you, and then you did that thing, but we still didn't do anything to you, and here you come to us saying that we should believe in you. And Musa Islam says, keep all those favors, and don't. It's like giving peanuts when you actually, peanuts, a small amount of generosity when you actually enslaved a whole nation. If you're really that generous and really that kind, then why don't you let free of that nation? So in a way, Musa Islam, how in a way, very intelligently, he's brought him back to those demands. In the sense that he says, yes, I left this city and I flew from here, but then Allah gave me wisdom and made me messenger, and that's why I'll come back to you. So it goes back to the first demand, and the second demand is very, very intelligently. Musa Islam says, don't you be saying that I did that on you and I remind me of the blessings. Actually, when you enslave the whole nation, and that's why I've come here to to ask you to free that nation. Now, what was that thing that Musa alayhi salam did? The Holy Quran mentions it in different places in the next surah. And what happened? Musa alayhi salam, Musa alayhi salam was walking past two individuals arguing, and one of those individuals were from the nation of Pharaoh, and the other one was from Bani Israel. The nation of Musa alayhi salam. And when they were arguing, when the person from Bani Israel, Musa alayhi salam's nation, he saw Musa alayhi salam, he said to Musa alayhi salam, can you please mediate? Can you be our judge? Musa alayhi salam heard both sides, and he knew that Pharaoh's man, or man from Pharaoh's community, he was in the wrong. He was he was unjust. But rather than actually even paying any kind of attention to Musa alayhi salam, and Musa alayhi salam, because Musa alayhi salam was from Pharaoh's house, and as a result, he was like a prince. He used to dress him like a prince. He was like that. And this is the first time he came across this situation. And he hadn't really tested his own force. Yeah. So in order to just like kind of back the person off, who was unjust, and even jumping up and down and actually trying to in a way show his force on Musa alayhi salam. In order to back him up, Musa alayhi salam just like lets loose of his hand, basically smacks this person, and as a result of that smack, the person just dies. So this is how powerful he was. So Musa alayhi salam obviously hadn't realized his power, because he never had to use power. And immediately as soon as it happened, so this whole incident is mentioned in next surah, this conversation that took place, and what happened, immediately Musa alayhi salam realized his mistake, and he said, he said to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Ya Allah, I've committed this sin, and as a result, Ya Allah, قال ربي إني ظلمت نفسي فاغفر لي فغفر له إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. He immediately says, قال ربي إني ظلمت نفسي. He says, Ya Allah, I have committed a wrong on myself. Adam alayhi salam and Hawa alayhi salam, they use this word, رَبَّنَا ظَلَمْنَا أَنفُسَنَا. Ya Allah, we've done wrong. Immediately realizing that actually by what's happened, is the greatest loss is my loss. And he says, فَاغْفِرْ لِي, Ya Allah, forgive me, what I've done. And immediately Allah says, فَغَفَرَ لَهُ, we forgave him there and then, because it was unintentional. But here, Musa alayhi salam, and as a result of what happened, then the people of Bani Israel, in other words, Musa alayhi salam's own nation, they said to him, just leave, otherwise, Pharaoh was known for his torture, and they used to have prisons, and we will find out that prisons, they weren't just normal prisons, they were literally dungeons, they were like, they were built underground, and they will, all sorts of things will happen, and as a result, even though it had been done unintentionally, there was no malice, there was no intention. The people still said to Musa alayhi salam, you should leave this city, you should flee from here. And as a result, Musa alayhi salam went away from the town, the city, and the capital of Pharaoh. Now, and this was that thing that Musa alayhi salam had done. Now, Musa alayhi salam, there when that person was killed, immediately Musa alayhi salam said, Ya Allah, I've killed. The word killed has been used. Here, when Pharaoh doesn't mention it, Musa alayhi salam doesn't bring up either. It's not like guilty conscience. No, he's obviously, he was aware of this, and that's why when he mentioned the two things first about himself, he said that my chest is constrained and I'm not very eloquent. The third thing he said, وَلَهُمْ عَلَيَّ ذَنْبٌ, that they have a charge against me and they're going to kill me. Did he say that at the beginning? Yeah? And that's that charge. But here, Musa alayhi salam also doesn't use that language. He neither says it's a sin, nor he says there's killing that's taken place. He said, yes, I did what you're saying I did. So it's like, this is also teaching us in a way that there are time and places. That you don't have to, it's not that you have to be economical with the truth. It's like that, use the same language that's been used at that particular time. So because Pharaoh used the word did, did you not do what you did? And Musa said, yeah, I did what you're saying I did. It's that kind of thing. And anyway, Musa says, no, let go of these people. Now, so Pharaoh is kind of in a way, he's like lost that battle, lost that argument. That Musa says, yeah, I did, I did, but actually, since then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has raised me and given me wisdom and prophethood, and I've come back to you.